Hi there everyone! I know that there is still very little information out on Project L, but that does not stop us from speculating on which characters that will be duking it out in the game. We already know that Ari and Darius are both in the game, and based on them we can probably expect to see characters with a wide set of abilities and attacks. But I still think there are a few modern Terra characters who fits perfectly into a fighting game. So here's a nice little list of characters who I think can be taken straight out of League and put right into Project L. The first character is the robot boy himself, Blitzcrank. Already he has an ability set that fits right into a fighting game, since all of his attacks are based around melee attacks. His abilities buffs his attacks with extra damage and speed, and Power Fist also delivers the short stun on hit. This alone would make him a good fighting game character, but he also has his rocket arm, which much like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, he uses to pull in enemies from over a certain distance. His ultimate, Static Field, also fits in as it's based around building up stacks of electricity, which deals damage over time or can be used for burst damage. So in theory, which might be easier said than done, Blitzcrank should be relatively easy to translate from a League character to a fighting game format. But not only does he fit in well, he is also one of Riot's most recognizable characters. He appears in a lot of Riot's advertising and branding, and of course there are the memes about him, and he's in general one of the fan favorites. On top of this, we also know that Blitzcrank is confirmed as one of the playable characters in the upcoming Riot game, Project F. It would therefore not be too weird to see him in this game as well as a form of cross-promotion. The second character is possibly the first person anyone who's familiar with League would pick for the team if they needed someone to punch an opponent into orbit. Vi's whole shtick is that she uses her two metal gauntlets to punch people into a pulp. It therefore probably does not come as a surprise when her abilities are based around charging in to close the distance and then punch people with excessive force. Her punches also charges up stacks, which she can use to put buffs on herself in order to punch even harder. Her attacks usually also has the side effect of either sending someone flying across the room or punching someone up in the air. I can therefore already see the combo that is a knock-up, followed by a couple of punches, followed by assault and battery, followed by a dead opponent. Yeah, it's not gonna be pretty. Also, much like Blitzcrank, her entire design is built around melee attacking, especially punching. It therefore doesn't take much imagination to see how she could be translated to a fighting game character. The third character is Lee Sin the monk, who although is blind, will somehow always be able to come flying across what seems to be half the map to kick me, who's just chilling in my own lane, in the face. Lee Sin channels the essence of the dragon spirit, which he uses to dash to allies and foes in order to either support his friends or kick some ass. His martial arts skills involve sonic waves, punching and kicking really hard, and ultimately unleashing the dragon's rage to roundhouse kick someone back to their own lane. It's easy to see how a martial arts based character would work in a fighting game, as they usually involve a lot of punching and kicking. It would also be interesting to see a character with a lot of momentum, which Lee Sin would be able to do with his dashing. On top of this, he's quite popular to pick in League these days, so it wouldn't surprise me to see Lee Sin all of a sudden come flying over to a different game in order to kick me in the face there as well. Every fighting game needs a big, slow, heavy fighter who deals big damage. Street Fighter has Zangief, Project L will have Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser is all about necrotic sorcery and smashing people into the ground with his massive mace. By repeatedly hitting his enemies, Mordekaiser builds up necrotic energies, which he uses to damage those around him. The necrotic energies are also used to build shields, heal, drag enemies towards him, and deal massive damage. Mordekaiser also has the ability to drag someone to the death dimension with him, where he presumably only does nice things to them. I can't tell from experience, as I haven't been there myself, but my teammates seems to always be able to leave alive each time they go, so it can't be that bad, right? So all in all, with armor, big attacks, grappling, and a possible death dimension, Mordekaiser has all of the boxes checked off to be the perfect heavy fighter for Project L. While we're on the topic of death, we also of course have to talk about everyone's favorite stabby girl, Katarina. Katarina is a character based on chucking daggers at someone until they die, at which point she retrieves her dagger and immediately kills someone else. In Project L, she would therefore be throwing daggers which she then can interact with after they have hit their target. This could either be through teleporting, as if though she was the fourth of Kage, or she could use them to reduce her cooldowns, or to possibly apply extra damage buffs so that she may kill you even quicker. She also has her Death Lotus, which, unlike Mordekaiser's Death Dimension, you definitely do not want to touch. Unless you like getting stabbed a couple of times, that is. That was my list of 5 characters that I think are almost guaranteed to make it into Project L. If you have some other characters that you feel are certain to be in the game, let me know in the comments below. I plan on making more videos on Project L in the future, so if you're interested in hearing more, I would recommend that you subscribe to my channel. If you would like to discuss Project L live with me, I stream on Twitch every now and then in the weekends. It would therefore mean a lot to me if you were to drop by over there and hit me up with a follow. The link will be in the description below.